Up next, it's a rematch of Super Bowl 26. The Bills are looking to get back to the title game for the first time since the 1993 season. It's Washington and Buffalo, and it's headed your way next.
We are just about 4 miles off the shore of Lake Erie at Bills Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Washington football team. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by their 4th-year man from Houston. It's Kyle Allen.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Sheds him off at the 45, and he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throwing the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
On 2nd down now, it's Gibson, and he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, this defense for the Bills, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A run here for J.D. McKissic. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They will run it. It's McKissic. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Throwing now is Allen. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
Almost feel sorry for the kicker here because you know he wants to go out there and contribute, but they keep saying stay on the bench. I think it's just simply a matter of a head coach saying I believe more in my guys with the football than sending you out there to kick it.
Well, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. And we see the Bills offense take the field here at quarterback Josh Allen.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 72 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
On 2nd and 7, Allen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Charles, we get a look there at the draft class for this offense. What do you make of it?
Well, overall, I like the balance of the guys that they selected because, to me, they got a few guys who can step in and play right away, which is exactly what you want. But they also drafted for the future as well. They've got some guys who might need a year or 2 on the practice squad, so then we'll find out if they can actually play.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on third down, and you make the home crowd go.
There's a hush indeed. On fourth down, on is the former Dolphin Matt Hawk to punt for Buffalo. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A give running right, Gibson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And that's his 2nd touchdown run of this game, and this one, add a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go, but how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback.
Here we go.
So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
I'm ready. Where's 52? Watch 52.
Here's Allen to throw it. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Chase Young.
Give me some more.
He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Another try after the 1st down sack. Allen eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Now Allen. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works. Oh,
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah. And you know how superstitious these guys can be.
There's no doubt, right? If you put your left sock on first and you have this kind of game, you'll keep doing it. In this case, let's investigate that pregame meal. We might need some of that.
Yeah, right. It's working. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A carry for Gibson. Dances by him. 137 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
And he'll go down at the 28.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, it's Gibson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And now they'll throw with Allen. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A give to Gibson running right. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
On play action, Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Allen. This is brought in by the tight end, Tommy Sweeney. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
The time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect him to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. 157 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Shifts by him. It's a first down and more for Gibson. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And Washington going to add on to their lead. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs. And that one certainly fell into the latter category. That deserves a couple exclamation points.
And there was so much that was impressive about this play, but it wasn't just what he did downfield. How about what he did behind the line of scrimmage? This wasn't a play where he just had a direct path to get him downfield and make the big play. He had to adjust on the fly behind the line of scrimmage, and in the end, that became a tremendous run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields this way up at the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run, maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Then he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A big gain there for the Bills.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Singletary loses it, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Now Allen again. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jonathan Allen picks up his second sack of the afternoon. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Colts as that one's gone to halftime. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes thus far. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And this has been an absolute clinic in how to run the football. Over 200 yards on the ground just in the first 2 quarters alone. Meanwhile, for the Bills, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be. But halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chunking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Throwing is Allen on third. Going deep for Diggs. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
The extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here is Washington now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 214 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibson. That's strong running. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory. Down at the 31. Gibson here running out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he'll be close to a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 22. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. They'll run with Gibson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Good job over there, baby. I see y'all. Good job over there, baby.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's McKissick. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. McKissick again on 2nd down. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he doesn't, it's felt by the rest of the team. And they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Allen. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Chase Young in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
You call it. We all it, baby.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Allen now looks to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Chase Young, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Allen, got to have this one. And that is incomplete. The Bills drive stalls out on 4th down. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On 1st down, it's Gibson. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, a 21-yard touchdown run. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback.
Let's go!
Buffalo set to get the football back here. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. And Beasley with it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. Under pressure, they got him again. Chase Young make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and forever. Allen going to throw. And this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go, let's
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So Allen's going to look to throw, letting one go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And the pass falls incomplete. So 5 seconds remaining now in this first half. Allen off the play fake. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Washington, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now.